There are 3 main strategies that I use to trick my brain into saving more without feeling deprived. Because let's be honest, saving money can feel like a chore and also like a zero-sum game. So either we save money or we spend it on something that we love. And then when we don't get to spend it, we feel deprived. And that is not good because then we stop. So let me share with you what I do to prevent that. And believe me, I do like to spend money. I'm Sophia. I've been learning about money and investing for the past decade. And here on this channel, I talk about building wealth without living frugal. So wealth without sacrifice. And for today, I'm going to put the most obvious one last. But if you've known me for a while, you probably already know what it is. But instead, and I even prepared a whiteboard for this, we will start with number 1, and that is flip the script. So the thing is, when money feels like a chore, then it's going to be hard. And we do not want to make anything harder than it needs to be. And imagine it's still a week until your next salary. It's starting to get less and less in your bank account, but also your fridge is empty. And then you're like, oh no, but I wanted to save money, but I also need to eat. Now that is the definition of hard. And a way around that for me was to flip the script. So instead of, oh no, I wanted to buy food or I wanted to buy that pair of shoes, and now I have to save that money instead. Now that way it feels like something's taken away from me. But instead of that, for me, it became, when I save and invest my money, at some point I can buy whatever shoes I want. And by doing that, I make saving and investing money. When I say save, what I actually mean is save and invest. So I make saving and investing money equally rewarding, if not even more rewarding than spending it. And one consequence of that flip of the script is actually that I now look forward to saving and investing my money, because what it means for me is that I get to fill my freedom account. So it does not trigger, oh no, now I can spend that money. It does trigger, now I become wealthier and wealthier. And that actually makes it easy. That makes saving and investing easy. Because I enjoy it, and things that we enjoy are easy for us, aren't they? So the psychological trick number 1 was to flip the script. And number 2 is follow the law of least effort. Law of least effort. Now the law of least effort is that when we have 2 options, or let's even say when our brain has 2 options, it will always choose the one that is easier. Because what our body, including our brain, actually wants to do is to save energy. And doing something the easy way is exactly that. It's saving energy. So for example, when you just came home from a long day at work and you're tired and you're also hungry, and option number 1 you have is to go in the kitchen and to cook for 2 hours. And option number 2 is to stay on the sofa and simply click a button on your phone and order food. Then which option is it going to be? The second one, right? Because it's the easier one. And so the question becomes, how can we apply the law of least effort to saving and investing? And one for me was definitely automating as much as I can. I have set up an auto transfer from my checking account to my investment account. I set that up once, and now I don't even have to think about it like ever. I have also set up an investment plan. That means at a specific time every month, the money that I had transferred to my investment account gets automatically invested. And again, I don't have to think about that. So if saving happens automatically and investing happens automatically, there really is no effort anymore except for the one time you set it up. And even that is something that you can set up while sitting on your sofa, because it's simply clicking a few buttons in your phone, in case you have your banking and investment accounts on your phone like I do. If not, then you sit on with your laptop. Isn't that amazing? And another way to apply the law of least effort is to set rules, because rules make our decision-making process easier and quicker. Because if you have a rule, if this, then that, then you don't have to think a lot about that, right? Now, you very probably already have rules, but depending on the kind of rules, they can either hurt your wealth or they can benefit your wealth. For example, if your rule is to go shopping on payday, and this may even be a secret rule, one that you did not actively set for yourself, but that kind of sneaked itself into your mind, then this rule does serve you in the short term, because you get to spend your money and then have that instant gratification that you always get when you buy something. But this doesn't necessarily serve you long term. In case, for example, you end up buying things that you didn't even need or really want. And of course, now that you have spent a chunk of money that is now gone from your checking account, now you have less steering room with the remaining money. Now an alternative rule could be, on payday, I sit down and I transfer 20% of my money into my savings and investment accounts. Although technically that only has to happen once because we already talked about automation. So here's another rule. Once a month, I sit down and I go through my expenses of the last month. And there I can check if everything that I spend money on is really in line with what I want. Or if maybe you could rearrange a few things. By the way, these two things, setting rules and automation, are a very important step in your journey to financial freedom. And I talk about that and also the broader picture, to be exact, how to build wealth without missing out on life experiences in my free Financial Freedom Rep class. If you want to sign up, there's a link down below. And now we get to strategy number 3, and that is out of sight, out of mind. And if you've known me for a while, you probably already guessed it. This is my favorite saving strategy of all time because it's incredibly effective. It's pay yourself first. Now, I don't know how you have tried to save money before. Maybe it was what's left at the end of the month. And maybe you did notice that that is actually hard because you always had this nagging voice in the back of your head. Have something left, have something left. And you think about that all the time, or at least the times you're about to spend money, and it's just exhausting. And exhausting is not good, remember? Because then we tend to do the things that are not exhausting. And so by paying yourself first, which simply means to transfer your money from your checking account to your savings and investment accounts right at the moment when you receive your salary. So what you do is you put that money out of sight. And out of sight, that's right, out of mind. And that is actually the reason why you will not feel deprived of your money. Because even when you put a part of your salary aside, you still have that chunk of money to spend. So that voice now, have something left, it's gone because deep down you know you already took care of that. And now everything that's left in your checking account, you can spend that to your liking. And just in case there is still this feeling that it's hard to not spend from your savings account, you can add even more friction. Because that, at the end of the day, is what we want to do. We want to add friction to spending, at least reckless spending, and we want to reduce the friction to build wealth. And another way you can add friction is to use, for example, the savings account that does not have a debit card or a credit card attached to it. So you can technically not spend money from that account. Do you know what I mean? If I, for example, need money from my cash reserve, I have to make a transfer back to my checking account, and that takes about a day. And additionally to that, I also have strict rules on when I can use that money, that cash reserve, for example, to pay for medical bills. So with all these strategies combined, flip the script, leverage the law of least effort, and put your money out of sight and then it's out of mind. Building wealth just becomes a bliss. And bliss is good. Bliss is effortless. Bliss is easy. If you want some more tips on saving money, you can watch this video next. It's about 10 easy money habits that made me save more. And let me know how it goes because I want to see you succeed. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.